Hey, you guys, what's up? What's going on? Definitely welcome back if you're coming back. And if you're just joining for the first time, then what's up? What's going on? Go ahead and hit subscribe and join our family. Today, we're talking about Catfish, y'all. And this episode, it was all right. So this one, it was Charles and Nikki. So Charles met Nikki online on a social network called IMVU, which I've seen a few times. I thought about maybe checking it out, but like, I'm not really a gamer per se. So it's like, I feel like for me, it would be kind of be a waste. Like I even recently bought like the whole, like one of them Oculus type of things, but not the new one. I bought one and I used it probably like twice so far. And I keep on saying I'm gonna use it, but it's like, I'm always working, doing something else. So it's kind of hard to stay with these types of things. So anyway, that's where he was able to kind of meet her or whatever. He's from Illinois and he's trying to prove to his friend Zack that this chick is actually a real person. And they have exchanged pictures. They've also been texting. So they did move it away from there to an actual like real life type of situation. So he said that she actually kind of like hit him up because she fell in love with his voice. And so it's almost like she kind of slid in the DMs, even though it wasn't really a DM, but she was like, oh my God, whose voice sounds like that? Like, and he's like, it's mine. You know how that go, you start getting flattered and stuff like that. So the photos of her do look cute. They don't look over the top like some like model or anything like that. So at least that was a good sign to say, well, possibly she could be a real person. But it was still kind of like, I don't know. But he said that he loves her with all his heart. And he also said that they did kind of video chat, but not for real, because she had it like on the ceiling. And the other time I think she had like a black type of screen or whatever. So obviously that means that he hasn't really actually seen her. So he can't really say for a fact, like, yes, this is her, but he feels like it probably is her. So she's 34. He's in his 20s. I forgot how old. I think he was like 23 or 25, something like that. And she's 34. She's a dental assistant. And as far as he knows, they both consider each other to be in a relationship. So, yeah. So following that, Charles and his best friend, another thing that kind of was like a little bit of a red flag is that she did kind of ghost him. So Charles and his best friend and his best friend's girlfriend, they all had went to Miami, and he's supposed to meet up with this chick and she never showed up, talking about it was a family emergency. The classic line when you're just making something up, you don't want to give too much information. People use it at work all the time. I've heard that excuse so many times when I work in human resources that it was just like, come on. Like every week, you know what I'm saying? But that's like the most common used thing. So yeah, so that was kind of like, I don't know, and she knew you flew on a plane and she literally didn't show up. Like that's pretty messed up, that people could actually do that to you. He said that another thing that was weird was that her Instagram was gone. So there was he didn't have that, which would have her pictures. And another thing was that she had sent him money. Because I guess he was low on his rent. She sent him money, but he sent it back to her. So at least it's like, it's like not like anybody scamming anybody. But the weird thing about it was that the name changed from Nikki to Nick. And it had like a different last name on there. And the picture had totally changed. So that made it seem like, could it possibly be a guy? But he said if it's a guy, he's not really with it. But if it is a female, even if it's not the same exact female, just because he knows like if everything else is the same, that he would still mess with it, I'm like, dang, you know what I'm saying? Like you even say like if you're attracted to them, you know what I mean? Like at the end of the day, yeah, you have to make sure that for me, if this was, I wouldn't get myself in this particular situation, but to kind of look at it, you like, I would have to make sure that most or all of the things that they told me was true and real. And I have to be like attracted to them. Like for me, physical attraction isn't number one. Like they don't have to be like, oh my God, GQ cover of a magazine. But I do have to be to the point where I can tolerate you and be able to look at you. Because yeah, personality is number one for me, but number two is looks. You know what I mean? So that's like another thing as well. So they tell Charles, like they went ahead, they did their research and all that. They found out that they did find a Cash App, which was kind of weird, had a different last name and stuff like that. They went undercover into IMVU, that was super cute. Cammy, she was like the avatar or whatever they call them in there, and she was like dancing and stuff in there. She's like, whoa, I'm not even doing anything. Like just started dancing on its own. That was pretty cool. But she they asked if anybody knew this Nikki Cookie person, and only one person kind of like sent them a message and said that she talks to like a lot of different people and she'd be switching up. And he gave her an Instagram, but that Instagram was private, so there was no way to really verify if that was actually her. So they went ahead, told Charles everything that they learned, which I feel like they didn't learn too much. They did find a picture of her that was dated back in 2016. It showed her in Tampa, but luckily that's still in Florida, so it's not like a completely different state, but it could be somewhat of a lie because Miami and Tampa are two different places, you know what I'm saying? But it was dated 2016, so it's possible, you know, that it could have been an old picture, obviously. So once they tell him that, he did seem to be a little bit, you know, I don't want to say distraught, but he was a little let down because he's like, if she's over here doing this to everybody, like, sounds like I got cheated or whatever. So they went ahead, they messaged her now. It's like, all right, let's cut the games. She said that she knew, like, he knows the reason why she doesn't want to, like, meet up. So she doesn't know why, like, this is happening or whatever. But she agreed for them to meet her. So they went ahead, went to Tampa, which, yeah, it's in Tampa, not Miami. And when they went, lo and behold, it actually was the real person. She said that the reason why she told him a different, like, the only thing that she lied about was that she lives in Tampa instead of, you know, she told him that she lived in Miami when she actually lives in Tampa. And the only other thing that she didn't tell him was that she has 2 kids. One was, I think, 2 and one was 7. Other than, just because of that, he wasn't really he didn't really care. He was still ready to move forward. He's like, he wants to meet them. And she said she's a shy person. That's why she wasn't so quick to jump to meet him. Plus, like, the fact that she has kids, like, she don't let everybody see her kids because this is a guy from the internet, which, hello, like, you can't just be, yeah, this is my daughter or this is my son or whatever, you know, like, with random strangers. They could be killers, like, you know what I mean? Could be anybody, and especially, like, you got to protect the kids. So I'm definitely with her on this one. So, you know, it was good that it was actually her, and they seemed like they were pretty smitten, you know, they were pretty happy with each other. They seemed like they were ready to move things forward. He was asking her, like, do you still want me to move here? She's like, you know, if you want to, you know, how is the fact that I have 2 kids? You know, I wonder how close she is to the baby's father. You know, like, that definitely changes the dynamic a bit once you know somebody has kids. And now you're not just going to be her man. You would be also a stepfather, father figure, or whatever, if it were to get to that level. So it is a lot to think about, and it is a big secret that somebody tends to keep, you know? So, but supposedly she said she wasn't talking to any other guys, wasn't doing any of the other stuff that they mentioned. It was just because she was shy. That was the only reason why she didn't want to, like, meet him, you know, and things like that. So 2 months later, you know, they did the little update, checkup type of thing. And Charles said that they decided to actually go separate ways, which was actually kind of a shocker a little bit because it seemed like they were so good when they were around each other. But he said, like, she started acting different, and plus, like, age gap plus the distance, it just kind of didn't work. And then she, like I said, she started being a little distant, and come to find out she ended up with a boyfriend. So she was out there doing her thing. Maybe she found somebody on that site. Like after everything, she like, you know what, let me find somebody else up in here. Maybe she moved forward with them. Maybe he gave her the courage, you know, to like meet with somebody that she actually was talking to a while ago. Who knows how it works? But yeah, so he said like at that point, once he found out that she met someone, he had to kind of step away. But it seemed like he would have been a rider, you know, like he would have been down to be with her. He definitely seems like he would have stepped up even though he was younger. But he said he met somebody who's 23 in his age group, and he was like, it's so much better. His friend Zack has met her, seen her, and his friend was like, you know, she's definitely an upgrade. So it sounds like he got him a hot little mama, you know what I'm saying? So he good now. So I mean, I guess this actually helped him to find closure, to be able to move forward and step out, because if not, he would have been kind of holding on to this relationship that was kind of not going anywhere, and he would have just been kind of letting his life waste away. I don't want to say waste away because that sounds so terrible, but y'all get what I mean. Like he would have just been holding on to this. If somebody trying to talk to him, he's going to be like, I'm in a relationship, and missing out on opportunities like this that could have been something really good, you know? But as far as Nikki, they tried to reach out to her, but she kind of went ghost, so it is what it is. But that's pretty much the episode. It wasn't too crazy for this one. You know, it was just, it is what it is. And it actually turned out to be the real person. But thanks so much for watching, guys. I'll see you guys in the next one. Laters.